lesson, we'll be looking at playing the major scale in thirds. By that I mean playing two notes simultaneously, often referred to as a double stop or a dyad. If we take a major scale, let's say C major, there's our C, and I'll just go up and down the major scale. So let's find the third of C. If that's C, which is 1, there's D, which is its second, the second of C, and there's E, that's the 3, the third of C. So C and E, that is a third. However, we're not playing them simultaneously because they're on the same string. So let's take this E and put it on a different string so I can play them simultaneously. There's an E on the D string, so that's perfect. So we've got C on the A string, 3rd fret, and E on the D string, 2nd fret. So that's our first dyad. It's a third, specifically a major third. On to the next one, D. If D is now kind of considered 1, E would be 2, F is the third of D. So again, let's take that F and put it on a higher string so I can play them simultaneously. There's an F on the 3rd fret of the D string. So, and here's my D on the 5th fret of A, play them simultaneously. And we've got a third, specifically a minor third this time. So we've got C and E, major third, D and F, minor third. And as I go up the scale, it's just a sequence of major and minor thirds. So it goes major third, minor third, E and G is a minor third, F and A, major third, G and B, major third, A and C, minor third, B and D, minor third, and we're back to the top now, C and E. And I'll come back down. Now, I really do recommend playing stuff like this along what you might call the x-axis, horizontally, because I think it's a really good way of internalizing the steps of a scale, you know, whole and half steps. However, when it comes to playing in a real world situation, we generally prefer to be a little bit more position based. Now, it's okay to move around that way, of course, but we prefer to be a little bit more position based. So what I've done is I've made a PDF with 7 positions, and each position has 3 dyads per string set. Let me show you what I mean. This is what I'll call position 1. I'm on the low E and A strings, and I've got a C on the 8th fret and an E on the 7th fret of the A string. So C and E. I then go up to the next third, D and F, on 10 and 8, and up to the next third, E and G, on 12 and 10. So we've got. Now I've played 3 thirds on this string set. So rather than go this way, I'm going to go this way onto the next string set. We need F and A. So here's an F on the A string and an A on the D string. That's 8 and 7. Next dyad, the next third would be G and B, 10 and 9. And then A and C on 12 and 10. So far we've got now I've done 3 thirds on that string set, so I'm going to go on to the D and G strings. We now need B and D, so we've got B on 9 and D on 7. Up to C and E, 10 and 9, up to D and F, 12 and 10. onto the next string set, we need E and G. So we've got E on 9 of the G string and G on 8 of the B string. F and A on 10 and 10 of the G and B strings. G and B on 12 and 12. Now I've done 3/3 on that string set, so I'll move on to the top string set, the B and E strings. We need A and C, so we've got A on the 10th fret of the B and C on the 8th fret of E, A and C. B and D, 12 and 10. And finally, C and E on 13 and 12. So from the bottom to the top, it sounds like this. And then I would come back down the way I came. The PDF will contain that position plus the other 6, so you can really get to know the sound of these thirds all over the neck. What are they good for? Well, they're brilliant for, like you heard in the intro, kind of melodic, solo-y sort of stuff. Let's hear a little bit more of that now. But they're also great for little funky rhythm parts as well, something like this. That's just 2 very specific uses of these thirds. There's so many places where they'll appear, so it's really worth getting the feel of them under your fingers and the sound of them in your ears. I hope this lesson's been useful to you. Thanks again for watching. There's a link to my Patreon below if you'd like to support the channel, and if you'd like to subscribe and like the video, that'll be really appreciated as well. Thanks very much. See you next time.